What's up, Sagittarius? I'm Chris. Welcome to your May Taroscope. Now I missed you guys in April, but we back. We out here. We doing it. And I'm very excited to get to you guys this month because it feels like there's a lot of real hopeful energy with Sagittarius for the month of May. Real opportunity available to you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading. We're gonna go ahead and see what energies we're coming into the month with, and then see what we have to look forward through the month of May. Just a quick note, guys, I finally launched my website. It's all polished and pretty and beautiful, so go ahead and check it out. The description, the link is in the description below. You can go ahead and book readings there. I have a new booking system where you actually choose a time and you get the reading delivered to you in 48 hours. It's awesome. And you can also donate to the channel there. Your donations help keep these videos coming. Alright, Sagittarius, so let's go ahead and jump in and see what we got in store for you guys for the month of May. I think it's going to be a good one. I think there's a feeling of transition here, and with transition, like a lot of opportunity. Starting out the reading here, Sagittarius, with the Eight of Cups. So exactly what I talked about with more opportunity coming your way, right? Through release, through transition. An old way of being that you thought you kind of put yourself into a mindset of, right? There feels like to me here there's this transformational energy of just the way you think about yourself, the way you think about what you want in life. And there's a release of old ways of being, old habits, old standards that you set for yourself. Like I'm gonna be this by this certain time in my life, and I'm gonna be this. And then with the Eight of Cups, there's a release of that pressure. There's a release of that weight that you put on yourself to be a certain way and do things a certain way. And in May, Sagittarius, we let go of all that. Outdated ways of being, outdated ways of thinking. There's an energy here to you guys this month of sort of like facing a void. Like with this release, you kind of have this big blank canvas to work with. And that can be intimidating, right? That void, having to fill all that. But with you guys, it feels like there's a willingness to fill that. There's an excitement behind the idea of filling all that space. In our ideals here, Sagittarius, we have the Magician, filling that space. Knowing that you can kind of create whatever you want. Luck is on your side this month. Your vision is aligned with your actions. It's almost as if by divine intervention, it feels like things are falling into a place in a way this month that is going to feel serendipitous in certain ways. Going to feel also like you created that opportunity for yourself. Almost as if you manifested it, like you spoke it into being. There's big manifesting energy with Sagittarius in May. There's big control of like the narrative of your life. There's big control of your story, of your journey, of your path, of your vision. And that's what I want to say here too, Sagittarius, is like the reason this creation is possible is because there's this almost ability now to create a vision and see it clearly. To know maybe more than you have in a while of exactly what you want. And in knowing what you want, being able to ask for it, demand it, assert it. Learning to speak your mind, Sagittarius. The Page of Swords in our past and the energies we're bringing into May. We have the Page of Swords. So stumbling out into the world, right? New and fresh and trying new things and exploring. And to me here, when I look at this card here, it feels as if Sagittarius is moving into, no matter how old you are, what stage of your life you're in, there's almost like a maturing of this energy. Where this energy that was once wandering and free and almost aimless and directionless, it starts to become honed. It starts to become, sort of, I feel like this grown woman vibe. You know, like you know what you want. You're gonna do what you want. Whether you're male or female watching this, it's that feeling of liberation that comes from being grown, that comes from having gone through shit and now knowing what you're about and knowing what you want. So you're not a little bird anymore, Sagittarius. You had to be for a while, right? You had to make mistakes. You had to try things. You had to, become convinced of things yourself, right? You had to put yourself through the ringer a little bit. You had to do it, right? You had to like get it out of your system in certain ways. But I think it's because you knew there was wisdom in making those mistakes, right? You knew there was wisdom in following yourself. And now the world. So this part of your chapter, this chapter of your life rather, is fading away. What did I say from the beginning, guys? Coming into this, it's a month of transition. It's a month of releasing of the past. This could be literal ways, right? Like moving from a place that's comfortable to you, or starting a new job or something like that. Or it could just be bigger picture, right? Maybe roles you're ready to take on now. I'm ready to be committed in a certain way. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to have kids, something like that. You know what I mean? It's a leveling up energy here. We have tons of creative energy, tons of like airiness and space, and like allowing yourself to just be, and being okay with that, right? Being okay with being that person out in the world, being a little demanding if it might sound like that way to certain people, right? Being a little cocky sometimes if that's what other people perceive it as, but it's a new way of presenting yourself in the world, where you just sort of value your uniqueness, you value your sense of self, like the person you've discovered. And then you find grounding. The King of Pentacles tells us that you've been kind of nurturing something. This is where I think there's luck this month with you guys, right? In the material world. So some of you might, get a new home. Some of you might get a new job. Some of you might get like a baby or something. But whatever it is, it's like predestined, it feels like. Like everything happened the way it's supposed to. And now, this sort of stability that you've sort of grown. Like the King of Pentacles just grows things. Like out of places where people wouldn't even think are fertile, right? Because he understands the material world. He understands how to make things grow. My grandma always used to say that a witch is a person who can make something grow. And I thought that's such a cool way to think about harnessing sort of like your creative power, right? Through growing things, whether it's a bank account, whether it's a life you created for yourself, or whether it's an actual plant. She also threw shade at my mom, and she's like, that's how you know your mom's not a witch, because she can't keep anything alive. Oh man. So Sagittarius, with this new part of your life comes luck, comes fortune, comes opportunity. Comes like all these lessons you've learned coming into play. Maybe even dating somebody who, if you're single and looking, like dating somebody who you sort of know how to pick well because you've been through it, and now you see, they can recognize, a King of Pentacles when you see them. And here we have our turning point, the Four of Pentacles. So, finding stability in May, right? Finding comfort, a space where you can let go, because now, I think the future becomes a little safer feeling. You know you have a place to live. You know that you have a job secured. You know that you have some kind of commitment from somebody or something. Four of Pentacles keeps us so grounded. This is the result of this work that you've been doing. Like I said, a culmination, and now we have stability. Stability that makes you maybe a little more willing to release, right? This is like sort of fostering an abundance mindset where you can let go of things that are no good for you anymore because there's not a sense that that will never come your way again, right? That you know that the world is full of abundance. So you can face this void, you can let go of something because maybe now you have a greater understanding of just like how much is out there. How much destruction creates just opportunity. How much release creates like space for growth. So again, a turning point, a transition point, a time of good fortune, a time of... It's not just good fortune that fell out of the sky, it's like you've been hustling for it. Accomplishments, there's like graduation here. My sister's a Sagittarius, and I think she's literally graduating. Graduating in life in general. Grown. But Sagittarius, you know, being grown means you got grown up responsibilities. Right? So more balance going into May now with the Two of Pentacles. Really stable energy here on this bottom row. You know, amongst all this transition, all this change, we have three cards now laying next to each other. All of Pentacles, all of pretty stable. Right? The Two of Pentacles does represent balance. It represents harmony. It represents like a flow. Like, you know, the way that they say money is energy, right? It has to flow, you have to spend it, you have to put it out there. And if you hold on to money, the energy kind of becomes stagnant and it doesn't flow. And, you know, that's what this reminds me of here. Being in your groove. Now, be very attentive this month, Sagittarius, as to how your relationships can benefit you. How fostering your relationships is going to give you a leg up right now. It's going to create opportunities for you. So now is not a good time to go burning bridges. Now is the time to like really network. You know, and not necessarily just in a, you know, the way that people hate when it comes to like business and stuff, but making relationships, fostering relationships. Are there friends that, you know, you haven't seen in a while that you should hit up and like keep that relationship alive? And going forward, we have the Ten of Wands, which I'm fine with, if you guys are, because it feels like that's the part that I was just talking about before, where with the, responsibility, right? That with being grown, you get grown responsibilities. So the Ten of Wands says there's work. But I think there's joy in this, right? For me, just looking at this and feeling you guys' energy, like the Ten of Wands feels like it's almost like I can see it lit up on fire, where it's almost like exciting. And you know the way that like a good workout gets your blood pumping, gets your like mojo flowing? That's what I feel like when I look at this. It's almost like this exciting approach to taking on the responsibilities of a new reality. Taking on responsibilities, Sagittarius, that maybe you didn't think that you were ready for it. But once you start doing it, you realize like this is exactly where you're meant to be. And this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Now with all this financial stability on the bottom, there is a big material leveling up. So again, it depends on your circumstances. If that's going to be with regards to a job, or if that's going to be with regards to the state of your relationship, or, you know, if like my little sister has to now like figure out where she's moving, right? Where she's going to live after school. On the deck, the Wheel of Fortune. I just saw it, and it has to, this is that Jupiter energy, guys. This is your energy. This is the luck, the fortune. Things are changing, and it's changing for the better. All the changes that are happening right now, all the things that you're ready to embrace, it's like a long time coming. There's relief. It's like this shit almost isn't even like that hard to do because it feels good. It feels good, Sag? Alright. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it feels good. Ending of the month, the Page of Wands. The bottom of the deck, Six of Cups. A lot of joy, guys. A lot of feeling of accomplishment. Talk about the mojo flowing again. Talk about getting fired up. Talk about does it feel good? Sagittarius, by the end of May, going into June, we're feeling ambitious. We're feeling, you know how when like you're kind of feeling yourself and then like life becomes easier, challenges become less difficult because you just feel like you're a boss and you can handle anything? That's what I'm feeling with this Page of Wands. It's like very who gonna check me boo kind of energy. I'm gonna do what I want and I'm gonna be good at it. My passions are being lit up right now. Very artistic month, Sagittarius, very creative. So I keep thinking about creative, so I think some of you are going to be making babies this month. Or at least like getting your freak on a lot, because my head keeps going there and I don't think it's because I'm like frustrated or something. I'm not, but I'm just... Alright. That was the douchiest thing ever, just had to... I'm gonna stop. The mouth, you know, you guys are Sag, we're sister sign Gemini, and the mouth can just sometimes get you into trouble, you know. Alright, so let's look at an outcome card here, Sag, and wrap this all up here. Beautiful. So this is about the Two of Swords. We're making choices. I feel like this is at the point, guys, though, where the blindfold, it's like you're ripping it off. And the choice is ready to be made. The direction you're going is clear to you. Something I think a lot of you guys are ruminating on, thinking about, considering, talking to friends or family about, getting advice on. There's clarity on choices that need to be made by the end of the month. And more than clarity, just like willingness for you to, and the energy to tackle it and to make the choices that you need to make. And feeling energized enough, right? You know when you're kind of depressed, you can't like do anything for yourself. This is the opposite of that. This is saying I'm done sitting around thinking about it, I'm ripping this blindfold off, I'm taking that sword and I'm going. And you going, Sag. Alright, guys, be sure to check out my website. Book a reading there, donations, all that good stuff. More to come. I love you guys. It's going to be a great month. A lot of stuff is changing for a lot of signs, but this is one of the more immediately optimistic readings about the transitions that are going. Like Gemini was going through it this month, and it would result in like strength and stuff. But this was like, this feels fun. Oh my god! All right, guys, have a fun month. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.